What you guys been saying. Okay, let it rock. So it feels weird. If my bro, if my bro say to me, bro, not sis, then okay, I can get over it. Yeah, I mean, if it's your family, you'd be like, okay, whatever. You know, it's like your family have this, they are inside. It's like they can do, you just don't take them so serious. It's like whatever. But if a man say me, yeah, bro, then it's like, huh? Don't talk to me anymore, right? Like, even if I'll come call you sis, I'll be like, sis. It's like, then I think, oh, really? If I'll call a girl bro, I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. So what would I call the bros? I call everybody bro. Like, bro, a girl, bro. Yo, bro. I mean, where's the distinction? Where's the uniqueness? Were you basketball live today? You check. Oh, so what did you see? Did you, today was like, yeah. Did you watch the match? Did you watch the basketball match today? I was playing earlier. Y'all. Yeah, really. We do speak like that. If they are interested, they just see more like bro and sis. Yeah, I don't get that. Bro, I understand it's just cultural thing. You saw a little of it. I understand it's a cultural thing. For some culture, they'll call each other bro or sis. Like, I would feel weird if I'm trying to get with a girl, if I'm trying to get a girl to be with me and then I'm calling her sis. Like, I'll go for queen, I'll go for beautiful, but I'll go for gorgeous. But sis, like it'll make me feel weird. I mean, like, it's not a mental thing, it just doesn't sit well with me. Calling, like, imagine if a girl is, who's interested in me calling me bro. I'm like, mm, yeah. I mean, that's like they just cut it short. But anyway, I mean, you can do it. I'm just saying, like, you can call. I mean, people can do it, but it's just like, yeah, it feels weird. If interested get called in by your name or nickname. If interested get called by names or nickname. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand the sir part. Oh man. Yeah. I understand the sir part because it really caught attention. But bro, that's only safe for like bro. If you say sis, it's okay. Oh, okay. If I call you sis, it's okay for you. Oh, if a woman says to me sis, that's what I mean. If a woman says to you sis, that's okay. It feels like it's a connection. It's like, it's feels fine. But if a man just come and call you sis, a random man, or just a man that you know still, sis, am I your sis? Um, if he call you, if it's friendly, yeah, for a girl it's friendly. I watched a bit, thought it was funny. What was funny about it? We were arguing a lot. Oh my god, it was too much arguing tonight. But yeah, yeah, it was. I was calling a dude. I don't know. I was calling a dude drunk. He was getting on my nerve, and then I was like, "Bro, you drunk, man? Just, just chill." Yeah. Guys, we almost to 2K likes. Can we get to 2K likes? Not if they are trying to go with them, then not sis. Yeah, right. If you're trying to go, why would you want to get with your sis? I mean, call me bro. It's like, okay, why would I want to get with my sis? That implies sis, right? Okay, so anyway, this is tell me you guys if you agree or disagree with this. This is about dating app distance. A guy is talking about dating app distance settings. Maybe it's not friendly if a man say to a woman, bro, but nothing more for me. Yeah, it's trendy now. That's true. It is trendy now for everyone to call themselves or a woman to call. a man bro or for a man to call a woman bro. That's trendy now. Does it make sense? Not really. But anyway, trends doesn't always make sense. So now tell me if you guys agree to disagree with this. I'm gonna play a video, but still, first, this is what one man is laying down the law on dating apps etiquette. So how to date. He is telling the fellas, he's telling the bros, the guys, to go into your dating app setting and set it to maximum distance of 10 to 15 kilometers or miles, whichever that you want, whichever metric measuring system that you want to use. He said also, if you find yourself tempted for someone outside that radius or outside that 10 to 15 kilometers, he advised you just to basically beat your meat and not go and just go to sleep. Beat your meat and don't do anything. So basically what he's saying is this, that in the dating app, it's best that you don't try to go overboard. But let's hear him say it. He's gonna explain himself. Explain yourself, bro. Okay,
Sometimes as a man, you just gotta beat your meat and stay home. Ladies, you too. Sometimes you just gotta roll your shit. Like, I got a homie, he be on hand. She said he drove an hour to go see the girl. Nigga, fuck out of here. You drove an hour, nigga? Fuck that shit. I ain't driving an hour to see nobody. You know how much
okay. So you got a friend, I don't know. Well, this is American. They use the N word. So loosely, this is just their culture. For me, it's not mine. So he's like saying, okay, driving. How far would you guys? Do you agree that guys disagree with this? How far would you go on in terms of hours? Just 1 hour is he's screaming. Yeah, just 1 hour. I'm like, he just wanna be staying around. I mean, this guy, he probably a city boy, but he's trying to stay around just around the area to date just within 10 to 15 kilometers in your area. That's the amount, that's the maximum amount of time that you should, I mean, location that you should date. I don't know what this guy is trying to say, but let's hear it.
gas that is? Even if my mama live an hour, gas that is? Even if my mama live an hour away, she only gonna see me on Christmas and Thanksgiving. She not gonna see me if she live an hour away. And the fucked up part about it,
Really? So he's saying if his mother live an hour away, bro, I think he's just capping. He's just talking nonsense at this point. So if his mother live an hour away, he would not go and visit his mom. What sense does that make? Seriously? I mean, tell me that you tell me that you're cheap or you broke without telling me that you broke or cheap. Like seriously. I mean, he knows everyone in his hood for sure. Yeah, he's a hood dude. He just stick around his hood.
even get to hit it. You didn't even get to hit it. This nigga drove an hour for some maybe coochie. What? I'm only
Okay. All right. That part, what he said, clearly you don't have bond with no one. Yeah. Yeah, let's shame him. Clearly he's like he doesn't have no bond with no one. But yeah, I mean, he's saying that what part an hour away from maybe Coochie. That part I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be driving an hour away or more, or even 15 minutes or more, and you don't know what's the purpose, what's the reason that you're going to see the person, and you don't have a conversation, if the person is gonna bust it open or whatever is gonna happen, then that's on you. Like that's on you. If you have a conversation, if somebody like it's like he's talking, just leave it in the air. Oh, can I come and see you? And that should implies that cheeks are gonna get clapped. You know, hi, happy day. It's like I don't get it. Something
driving an
called
hour.
something called communication and agreement first.
If I know I'm a hit, I already hit, and she got a place I can stay. Because if I drove an hour, I'll spend the night. Ladies, imagine you drive an hour go see a man.
If he's driving for an hour, he's gonna spend the night. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you talk to a person, then you know, okay, it's something that you agree with, that you're gonna spend the night, sure, but that shouldn't be like an expectation that you're gonna. Not everyone get that for sure. Yeah, not everyone get that. Like, and what do you mean get what? Get the fact that you need to have a conversation first. Yeah. I mean, like, he's putting so much expectation on the person, and then yeah, you need to have a conversation. You cannot just show up in an hour away. Say I just like this person who would do that. The type of guy who would do that is very, he's very cannot control himself. You will drive an hour away, or take, go and travel an hour plus away to, or maybe to someone, to your girl or to a girl that you don't even have conversation with, that you're gonna be like, this is what's gonna happen, and then just show up. She'll think, okay, you just wanted to see her. I mean, is she wrong for that? She doesn't owe you to like to to bust it open because you took your time to actually, or you decided to actually go that length, and then without a conversation. I think he's talking about for people who doesn't have communication skills, or who just not upfront. They need to be, yeah, there need to be a conversation first. He's talking to people who don't have good, or doesn't communicate basically.
And he only lasts 5 minutes.
Okay,
You fucking drive an hour, go see him.
he's giving like the equivalent to what a woman, like, let's say he was talking for a man's standpoint, but he's talking to a woman's standpoint. Let me see.
Imagine you drive an hour, go
Okay.
see a man, and he only spend the night. Ladies, imagine you drive an hour, go see a man, and he only lasts 5 minutes. 5 pumps. I know you gonna be mad. You gonna want your gas money back in blood.
Uh, so he's saying that, imagine, did you guys hear that? He sound pissed about life. Yeah. But I think probably he didn't really discuss this with the girl that he's trying to smash. Because he's saying that of course the girl would be pissed that if she drive an hour away, or even if it was 15 minutes, even if it was 10 minutes, and then you have some whack meat, like if just 5 pumps, and then just basically, you are premature, um you know that would be strange, and of course you would be pissed, because like that would be a waste of time, to be honest, and that would be it. This guy, I mean, his logic is like not logic, and to be honest.
I know you
But
is.
there are some guys who actually think like that, who actually expect that if they say, "Oh, can I see you? Can I come to you?" and then they expect, it's implied that they're gonna smash. It's implied that you're gonna bust it open. Some guys actually feel like that.
On dating apps, nothing past 15 miles. You make sure you go to settings and you set that shit to 15 to 10 miles distance. And if they live outside of that, fuck them. Reach on me and go to sleep. Ain't no way I'm thirsty enough to drive an hour. Fuck that shit. Yes.
Okay, he said there's no way that he's thirsty enough to drive an hour. But I think this guy, even he said, set your distance from 10 to 15 kilometers away in your dating app, so to search within this range. But even if it was somebody you meet 10 kilometers away, and then if you drove and then didn't, nothing happened, so would you still be mad? It's called communication, bro. You got to be upfront. And if it doesn't work, yeah, then it just don't. But you got to be upfront. So, are you guys disagree? Do you guys agree with him or disagree? I already see, most disagree. Pineapple. The pineapple. Okay. And yeah, some guys just need to be able to talk first before they automatically assume that something is gonna happen, while they just think that something is gonna happen. Oh, okay, let's see. I don't know if you guys see what's happening with Trump and this disagree. He's just talking. Yeah, for me, I disagree too. Like, I'm disagreeing hard with him. I mean, you've seen it, because it's like You don't just put your expectation on people and expect them to simply understand because we are doing this, then that means that automatically. Or before, because I did this, that means automatically that. Just because you drove to see someone for such, and it doesn't matter the distance, it could have been just down the road. It could have been just in your neighborhood. That doesn't mean that, okay, you automatically assume that somebody is supposed to obligated to do something that because you know implied somewhat you feel like it's implied. Doesn't work like that, bro. um so we're gonna talk about what's wrong with Donald Trump. It's not a long video, but he brutally insulted her. Basically, he brutally insulted someone, and you can see that he literally sucked the life out of her. And why did he do this? So he did an MRI. So basically, we see these pictures that you seen, this what you seen behind me. He did an MRI of this one. This one. This is the brain right there. This is basically a scan. And then, I mean, he's the president of the United States, and he did a scan. So logically, the journalists will ask him question about it. They want to know what happened. They want to, get some inside information. And when they ask him, and this was his reaction, and I was like, bro, why was that really necessary? This is what he did.
What part of your body was the MRI looking at? I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you too. Thank you, Mr.
Did you guys hear what
President.
he made her feel so bad. He made her feel so bad for just asking her. She's looking like she wanna quit her job based on the answer that he gave her.
What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
He just asked, thank you for he just asked what he basically insulted the reporter, and because he didn't want to give the like details of what he did scanned. And it's like, this guy, I don't know why does he have to be this way though, but yeah.
No idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing.
Which he got a perfect mark, which she would be incapable of doing. Yeah, this guy, he has no no chill. Hi. Yeah, he like so this guy is he has no chill. No sensitivity. Hey, which you will be incapable of doing. I don't know, but sometimes, because I'm thinking a lot of the time he's like this type of person sometimes too, that he is nice to people who are nice to him, but he's also ruthless to people who are ruthless to him. Maybe that would have been the case. I don't know if that was the history with him, and that hello, happy. I don't know if he actually had history with her to have that comeback. Bye, everybody. And he point to some other someone else as well to say, you too, you wouldn't know that what that's about. So basically they're saying that they are not really that smart. And the comments were basically saying, cameraman pointing at her. The cameraman basically was pointing at her, just basically trying to get her reaction. Yeah, it was crazy. It's insane. Someone said it's insane to me that we have a president who talks to people like this. That is so true. It's insane to me that a president actually talk like this. He really have no filter when it comes to just speaking his mind. What's cognitive test got to do with MRI scan? He just basically don't wanna. He didn't want to answer the question, but he didn't have. I mean, he shouldn't. It's okay. He didn't want to answer the question, but he didn't have to speak so low of her. Like, You guys should have seen the face of that reporter. She feel like so bad after that. Her heart just, her life just gets sucked out of her. It was embarrassing. And why is he allowed to speak to people like that? And who's gonna stop him? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Who's gonna stop him? Can he? You can't ace a cognitive test. I wonder, are they acing these cognitive tests for real? Maybe. And are these cognitive tests that they have to ace, is it according to their age category or the age group? He was very insulting and arrogant, but so is Trump. It's this is his normal way of actually interacting with people. He's but I don't know because he typically hit the news. And he's the one to start with the fake news situation. But I'm not sure if basically it was someone that he hated or someone that did him wrong and who's getting a payback. But sheesh, that was brutal. And okay, this situation, I don't know how come this he's able to talk to people like that, but yeah, I guess I guess it's he makes the impossible seem possible, I guess, in his situation. Uh, so this is a news article that I found online, and it's speaking about, and it's really recent, and it's speaking about a child of rage. Basically, it's a child of rage, and I'm gonna let you guys hear this story. It is pretty much graphic. The content, a warning to the content is, it says, content warning, this article include reference to child abuse. This is an article from the UK Daily Mail. So basically, it's about a 6-year-old girl who said, basically, she said this, and you cannot believe it. And the question is, what happened to her? She said this, 6-year-old girl. Imagine a 6-year-old saying this. So basically, they ask, what do you want to do to your brother? And she said, kill him. She have a smaller brother, and she said she wanna kill him. Okay, they ask her, why do you want to unalive your brother? Or why do you want your brother to be unalive? Because I was hurt so bad. Basically, imagine a 6-year-old that was hurt so bad by her parents, and she just wanna unalive her own little brother. And I don't want to be around people, she says. Who else would they ask? Who else would you like to unalive? That's the question to her. She said this. She said her mom and her dad. Why would you? And they ask, what would you like to happen to them? And she basically says she would like for them to be unalive, basically. And one would wonder, why is it that a child of 6-year-old would say something like this? And I was curious to understand that as well, because this article is just a few days ago. And the title of it, what is basically what happened to the child of rage, because this she was so abused, and they have a documentary about her, a 1990 documentary about an emotionally neglect girl who wanted to unalive her family in their sleep, shocked the world. So basically, yeah, 35 years on, this is how her life turned out. After 35 years, this is how her life turned out. I'm trying something new, different tonight, guys. Let me know how it sounds, because I'm trying to do uh some speech thing. Let's see.
Ask a 6-year-old girl what her dreams are, and she might tell you she wishes for a pony or glittery bike. Little Beth Thomas just longed to murder her parents and baby brother in chilling scenes which aired as part of a 1990 TV documentary titled Child of Rage. Beth matter-of-factly recalls torturing animals, killing nestfuls of baby birds, and repeatedly smashing her younger sibling's head into the concrete floor of the family's basement. Beth was so intent on killing her brother, and good at stealing knives from the kitchen, that their adoptive parents, Tim and Julie Tennant, would lock her in her room at night.
Or how does that sound? Like how did that sound, guys? This is a AI. Well, it's not AI. This has been here for a while. How does that sound? Does it sound good? So this is the story of what happened. And the main question is what happened to her after 35 years of this situation. What really, why did she sounds good but a little fast? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna see to change the speed. Okay, I was gonna even make it faster, but thanks for the feedback. So they were asking what happened to her and to understand how did she turn out, because I think that's a really good question to have, because I wouldn't want to have that girl in my life, because no offense to her, and it's just like a lot of the times situation that happened in your childhood could change the directory or the direction of your life forever. And a lot of the time, whether you like it or not, whether you choose for it or not, it's just become a demonic spirit, if you will, if you are a religious believer, or basically it becomes a type of personality defect that you develop. And again, she didn't choose that, but this is what happened to her, and it is really it's a sad story. But first I'm gonna slow down the voice and to make it like not so quick, because she's reading quite quick. I had it quicker, but I need to make it a bit slower because you guys are listening. I was in chipmunk speed. Let's see this. And there's a full documentary of her about this. I want to see how she looks, because they show you also how she looks and how she changed. Let me see, loading voice. I'll put it to normal. The speed of the voice will be normal. Okay, let me know how that one sound now. Hope she turns out to be good. We're gonna see. I didn't finish reading this, but we don't know. We're gonna find out too. Let's find out together. How did she turn out to be? Tell me if I think this speech.
But Beth wasn't an evil child. She had been a victim of emotional and sexual abuse before she could walk, which led to her developing a rare attachment disorder which stopped her from trusting people or knowing right from wrong. Attachment styles are a psychological theory which describe how people relate to others in relationships, both personal and romantic, and they are largely shaped by early interactions with caregivers. In the 1990 documentary, the Tennants explained that when they welcomed then 19-month-old Beth and Jonathan, 7 months, into their home in February 1984, they had no idea that they had come from a real-life house of horrors. Their mother had died from kidney failure shortly after Jonathan was born, leaving them in the care of their alcoholic father. He repeatedly raped Beth, and when they were rescued by child services, Jonathan was surrounded by bottles of curdled milk, and had a deformed head from being left lying in a soiled cot for long periods of time.
This is so sad. This is really so sad that she went through this. So basically she suffered as abuse and emotionally neglect. Yeah. I don't understand, like, so sad. I don't understand how some grown adult can do such heinous thing to. I don't want to understand it. I mean, it's so disgusting. That's why I don't know. For me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, whenever I really like people who adopt, but I don't know if you guys have that same feeling. Whenever someone adopt a child, I have like this this thing that I'm thinking that, are these people gonna look at this child as their own? Are they not gonna do some craziness to them? But because that's not always the case though. But there's a lot of stories of, like, people who are just adopting, I feel weird about it. People who just adopting kids and then to use them for the wrong things, basically abuse them. And this is what happened with her. She went through a lot at 6 year old. This is the reason why she wanted to unalive her little brother and her mother. And well, yeah, and her mother and her father. Right? Right, but I heard so much stories of them doing weird stuff to them. Yeah, it's always like, why would you do that? Like, it's a like, leave the child alone. So, but the trauma of what happened to them didn't begin to manifest until the later years. There was um there was a nightmare that she had. I mean, there was a nightmare that she had, and the nightmare about what was about a man who was failing to her, falling on her and hurting her with a part of himself. Mrs. Tennant says, who also revealed that her young daughter would often brutalize her own private part until they bled. Ugh. Did you guys hear that? She would also. This is gruesome. What do you guys think is the motivation? Yeah, she knew it was wrong. She knew this is not something that should happen.
The tenants were forced to start locking Beth in her bedroom overnight after they discovered that she had been sneaking into Jonathan's room before they woke up, repeatedly punching him in the stomach, not to mention sticking pins in the family pets. This kind of aggression at our animals and even her brother Jonathan was beginning to grow to such an excess that our life was miserable, Mrs. Tennant says. At home, John would cry in the mornings and say his stomach hurt. For the longest time, we thought maybe this child has some problem with his intestinal area, or maybe he has allergies. And so we're trying to get all that checked out. Come to find out, Beth was coming out of her room and hitting him in the stomach. And so, as a last resort, just to protect him, we had to tie her door shut. We've had to tie her in at night, sort of barricade her. Keeping the then 6-year-old locked up overnight was also another way to keep her from hiding knives she had stolen from the kitchen.
Sheesh, imagine a 6 year old have to steal a knife from the kitchen. And she know it's wrong because every child, whether adults think that they don't know what's happening or they don't know, they know it's wrong. Because one thing is for sure, just like there's touch, there's also something called the absence of touch. There are places that that we would normally touch a child. There are places that we, or let's say for instance, in our even our parents, there are places they will touch us, but there are places that they wouldn't touch us. They will touch you in the arm, they will touch you everywhere else, but there are places that are untouched. You know what I mean? If, for hygiene purposes, that's the only time they will be touched. So in the mind, in the psyche, it says these are my private part. But for her, in that situation, her father didn't, didn't respect her private part. He was basically doing the worst thing a human can do to another human. And for that, she was basically lashing out, and her little brother beating him to lash out in the situation to express that her discontent with the she was confused about this entire situation. She speak to a psychologist, Ken Maggie, who urged to kill her parents and hurt animal. So basically, this was a situation that she was speaking to a psychologist because of this situation that she's been through. I'm not sure that if she was speaking to the psychologist during or after the fact or after it happened? Because this is what I'm trying to understand though. Because if they knew, who would invite the psychologist to speak to her? You know, if it's, is it after the situation, or is it, I think it was a child psychologist, because child psychologists were trying to understand really what's, from her point of view, what's going on, because her parents or adoptive parents probably were saying that she's a child, what does she know, she's wrong for this, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She basically denied it. And there are child psychologists who actually are able to understand a child psychology and be able to get the truth out of them. You know, kids will lie, but it's always important to get the truth out of them. They mess her up bad. That's so sad. Yeah. Um. Okay. So moving on.
Mrs. Tennant says that she initially felt a little guilty for suspecting that the young girl had stolen the bladed cutlery, but she was forced to face up to the facts after she made a malicious admission. They had been gone several weeks. Beth was sitting at the table drawing, and mentioned to me, "What do those knives look like, that are gone?" And I said, "What knives, Beth?" And she said, "Weren't they kind of silver, and about this big?" And I knew then. And then she made this little smile that's not a sweet smile, but a malicious type of smile. And I knew then, I thought, she's got them. Following Mrs. Tennant's horrifying admission, the documentary cuts to a scene of a psychiatrist asking Beth what she planned to do with the knives. "I got them from the dishwasher," she admits, before saying she wanted to use them to kill John and Mommy with them, and Daddy.
Okay. Wow. Oh, this is really really sad. But I think soon they're gonna, let me skip to the part. There's almost, we almost get to the part where they're gonna say what did she turn into? What happened to her? How did her life, did her life turn into? I
The
wanna know
knives
that.
went missing, according to Mrs. Tennant, after Beth had already openly stated she wanted to kill her brother, and had been caught smashing his head repeatedly into a concrete floor. The documentary makers explain that because of the abuse that Beth endured at such a vulnerable and formative age, she never developed a sense of conscience, love or trust, and would exhibit inappropriate sexual behavior, especially toward her brother. This, and her violent outbursts, led to her being diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder, RAD, by clinical psychologist Ken Magid.
Okay. So of course a kid is gonna be, they're gonna replicate or emulate or just basically copy everything that we do, and whether we like it or not, that's the thing. We cannot tell them really. A lot of the time you can tell them what to do, but a lot of the time, most time they're gonna decide what they're gonna do based on what they see you do. And this is what she was doing. Beth has been SA'd and physically abused by her father before she turned 1. Yeah. Before she turned 1, y'all, her father was doing all of this nonsense to her. Let me see. Okay, we're almost there to see what, yeah, it's so sad. I'm just curious to understand, because I just understand what her life turned into. Because you can imagine after this situation, you can think about what did she turn into? Was she able to overcome all of this? Because that's a scar from the very beginning.
He specialized in treating severely abused children who had been so traumatized in the first years of life that
Traumatized.
they were unable to bond with other people, and Beth was a textbook case. In a 2016 interview on BBS Radio,
Baby,
Beth
yeah.
explained to presenter Sophia Ray what attachment theory is, and how it can be set in infancy. She said, "In that first year cycle of life, when a child has a need, when a baby has a need, they cry. If that cry is not taken care of right away, it becomes rage, because they're so helpless and hopeless, because they cannot care for themselves. And so therefore, when that need is met and they get adequate gratification, then they learn to trust that caregiver, that
Caregiver.
provider, and establish a bond. And what happened is, when I would have that need, that gratification didn't come, and therefore that trust was not established."
Yeah, basically her trust was broken because she knew she was basically doing things to her own private part because she been, SA'd by her parents and she didn't understand what's going on. No words, yeah. And and she didn't know basically what happened, what's going on. It's like she basically they messed her up. Her father was doing SA to her before she turned 1. What the F? Really? What? Like, so why? What type of human being? What happened to her father though? I hope it's nowhere to be found. I think it's so. Now I want to know if she actually turned, because in her situation, it's gonna be no way in this world that she's gonna be ever able to trust a man or even a woman, and that's in that for that matter too, because not only that she would feel not only that her father did that to her, but she would also think about why did her mother didn't protect her. Okay, let's move forward.
She added that a common factor with children who have attachment disorders is that not only can they not accept affection, they can't give it either, and it's because they are desperately trying to control a situation so it feels safe.
Yeah.
I had extreme control problems, extremely sneaky, destructive to myself and others, she said.
She had extremely okay. Yeah, at this point, she feels unsafe for life. It's not something that she can help with. But now I'm looking at her. There's a picture of her now of how um a picture of her in 2020 and 2017 is now award winning. She's a award winning nurse. I do understand now is a nurse would be the thing that she would do because she wants to be a caregiver. She want to be able to help people who are in need. I mean, that's something that is honorable, but she's been through a lot, and she's still managed to turn her life around to be an award-winning nurse. Wow, it's a really tough story.
I was very abusive to my younger brother. We were adopted together, and I, very quickly, from 18 months, was already acting out on him and on my adoptive family at the time. They don't feel safe in the environment, because the last environment they might have been in was an abusive and scary one. So they set their control. They control the situation so as to feel safe that no one can hurt them again because they've already been hurt when they let their guard down.
Yeah. Mm,
Beth is able to speak so eloquently about her early life because she underwent a string of intensive and controversial therapies to reset her attachment theory, and now, as an adult, she is a registered nurse who works in neonatal units and gives speeches to encourage parents of children with attachment disorders not to give up on them. As seen in the documentary, on the advice of Dr. Majid, the tenants are advised to send Beth away from the family home to stay with a child trauma specialist, Nancy Thomas. She explains that she has previously worked with children that have killed numerous times. Nancy says, people don't think a 9-year-old is capable of cold-blooded murder, but they are.
yeah, they are. This is the situation. They are. And it's a really sad situation. Um, then do you guys know what is your attachment style? Because this is something I can talk about in future. Okay, so that attachment style, let me see. Do you guys know about your attachment style?
That attachment break does severe damage to the heart, the ability to care and the ability to love. They don't care and they don't love. They're capable of anything. Nancy's process was simple, but very strict. Everything is completely monitored. We take complete control because a child who is unattached does not trust, and because they don't trust, they don't allow anybody to be boss of them, she says. We take complete control. They are not boss of anything. They have to ask to get a drink of water. They have to ask to go to the bathroom. They have to ask to leave our site. Part of that is because we cannot trust them, because of the damage that they've done.
Whoa. Okay. Do you guys know what's your attachment style? And Nancy. Okay, but that was basically. Do you guys want to hear the full story? Because it's almost let's see, you turn bad. So basically, I think at this point, yeah, it's interesting because she turned her life around, y'all, and she's working with to she went to and she got very heavy, how you call it, help, mental health help, and psychiatrist help, very intense to actually bring her to who she is right now. So it's a terrible story, but it turns into, you know, a
Being
real life
introduced to
story.
Nancy was a huge turning point in Beth's life. She was adopted by her when she was 15, a year or two after her initial placement with the tenants failed and the couple placed her in a group home. In the 2016 interview, Beth explained that she and Nancy, who she now regards as her mother, had shared.
Okay, so now, do you guys know what is your attachment style? Do you guys know what is that? So let's see. I'm gonna go over some attachment style. Let's see if any of them fits your you as well. Because when it comes to the way we connect with people or bond with people, attachment style, whether healthy or not, we all have an attachment style that we actually, you know, it's like a personality, key personality areas. So let's see, for example, there are 4 different attachment style. So let me tell me, guys, if you can relate and these based on these 4 different attachment styles, if you can, if you see yourself in them. Yeah. So okay, they are the secure, anxious, the 4: secure, anxious, dismissive, avoidance, fearful, avoidance. Which one do you guys want me to start first? And then, yeah. Okay, so imagine, let me see. Imagine it as a square. Imagine that as a clock. When you separate the clock, you can go separate. You have 2 sides, or even a pizza. You can separate. You know, you have top. You have 4 corners, 4 sides. Top 2 and bottom 2. So now there's in the bottom. Maybe I can do a drawing. Yeah, you guys could see it if you were on YouTube. But there's the secure. It's more positive because a secure attachment style is basically you set healthy boundaries. You have mutual trust and support. You control conflict and you are control conflict resolution. I think they made a mistake. So this is the secure attachment style. This is a positive attachment style. But there's a negative attachment style as well. And these are relationship attachment style. Basically, when you're in a relationship, it can be any relationship. There's a certain style that you operate on. So if you guys know yourself, then you can know, okay, officially it would be better that it would be more ideal if you are operating from an attachment style of secure. You are secure within yourself. So that would mean that you set healthy boundaries. So, and you mutually trust and support others, and you control, you are able to control conflict, or you have a conflict resolution type of mindset, rather than let's say now if we took at the line, we look to the right, there's the negative part. If you are an anxious, your attachment style, is it anxious? Are you feeling anxiety when you are attached, or when you are letting someone in? Do you feel anxious about that? So when you basically are anxious attachment style, you are fear of abandonment. You need constant validation, constantly you want to be told that, okay, I'm not gonna leave you, baby. I'm there for you. How does this look on me? Constantly you need validation. You are basically dependent on your partners for your self-worth. I don't think you guys are gonna say it, but hopefully when I'm speaking these things, maybe I should have done it a different way. But I'm already doing it. Okay, so maybe you can say we can do a test. I'm always gonna say we can do a test. You can say if something resonates with you, you can write it down in the chat. But let's say the other one, yeah. The other one is if you are fear if you do you fear of rejection, or do you have a hard time trusting and relying on your partner? And what about your self-esteem? Do you feel that you have a high self-esteem or low self-esteem? Okay, so other one, avoidance of you avoid intimacy and vulnerability. You have commitment issues, or you are guarded and close-hearted. Okay. I don't know if any one of you gonna say anything about that, but we're looking at there are 4 attachment styles again. We look at the top ones. Now we can look at the bottom ones. So the dismissal avoidance style is basically avoiding intimacy and vulnerability, or commitment issues, or guarded and close-hearted. That's a attachment style. Or you are fearful avoidance. So basically you are fear of rejection. You find it hard time trusting and relying on partners, or you have low self-esteem. Let me see. Thinking about it, because been having mixed emotion these days. Yeah, but you can have, I mean, although it's four boxes, you can, doesn't mean that you're gonna be fitted in all of them at the same time. You might have some other things, but you might have some other criteria or characteristic that is from some other ones. But at this point, I think the guys can know what is your style of attachment. Excuse me. Because this is about how you think about yourself, there's also how you think about your partner. I don't want to get close to anyone, but I also crave true bond. You don't want to get, yeah. I don't want to get close to anyone for intimacy and vulnerability. Okay, I don't know. Would you call it avoids intimacy and vulnerability? Would that be the call? We're talking about attachment style. Maybe this can be something. Let me see. I don't know if you guys want to say which one, because people yes, kind of. Okay, what about you let me see, fear of abandonment, or need of constant validation, or dependent on partner, so you are dependent on somebody else. What about these? Yeah, because these are also attachment style. But if you guys notice any of these things, I'm gonna read some things. If you guys notice any of these things within yourself, you can be able to actually know yourself. This is like a situation that helps you to better get to know yourself and know what is your attachment style, because we are all attached or not. I mean, whether we like it or not, we live with people and we want to be get closer to people. I fear more if loving myself now than losing someone else. Wait, I don't understand. I fear more if loving myself now means do you mean then losing myself? Oh, okay. You fear of losing yourself and loving someone. Okay. Um, so would you say that you are guarded and closed heart? Your heart is closed and guarded? Because yeah, I I, I don't know. Would you say that? Anybody else wanna stop, Robin? Anybody else wanna, say something? Or I'm gonna just basically read this. I'm guarded but not closed. Yeah. Yeah, you can be guarded and closed. It's yeah, okay. I mean, it's still okay. I get it. I get it. So let's see. I'm gonna read some things. Let me if anything that I'm reading from here resonate with you guys, just you can say it. You know. So characterized by having healthy and okay, let me put it like this. Um, Also called fearful avoidance. Okay, this style often result from. I don't want to read it like that. Uh, okay, do you tend to avoid discussing deep feelings, or do you prefer to be self-reliant and also may seem aloof, may seem like you don't care? Um, do you sometimes are emotionally distant? All right, so okay, I think sensitive. Are you very sensitive to your partner's action and mood? And do you worry about relationships and crave closeness? Do you like to discuss deep feelings? Okay, then yeah. Um, Hi, who is that? Wait, I know that name, but I don't know the face. The show was great. Boys to Men show. It was awesome. Did you shed some? Were your eyes getting watered? You didn't know why? You had to just came from it. Yeah. Yeah, you too? Okay. All right. So, did you get your pictures? Did you get to see them up close? Okay. So, do you feel fearful? Um, Thank you. Oh, you're still in the car. You're getting back. Okay. All right. Just safe trip. Yes, they are still fit. I told you they are still boys to men. These guys are still fit. Yeah, I told you. It's just that like um boys. It's just that they are great. Yeah. So it's up to you. He, she. Someone just saw the boys to men uh in performance. Boys to men are great. Yeah. Okay. Is the vibe. Yeah, is the vibe with them. Okay. Okay. Do you have mixed behaviors or are your behavior mixed? Like meaning are you a person who seek closeness at times but also pull away from others at time as well? Um, do you have a history of trauma or inability or a situation that happened in your early life that's gonna be a different situation? They sing also other songs. Oh, okay. So they were singing. They have some new songs. Would you say that they have some new songs? So they were singing their songs and then came up with some new bangers. Okay. Well, attachment style is very important because it helps you to understand yourself. More importantly, how you gonna behave in a relationship so you can know um how to carry yourself basically in a relationship. If you want to have a sustainable relationship, if you want to know how you gonna react when you are in a relationship, basically. That's what it's about. There are certain patterns, although some people might say yes, some things, some of the description of the attachment style, some things are not always, you don't fit in all of the boxes that I mentioned, but there might be one or two things that fits with your lifestyle or just your personality itself, and a lot of that has to do with your upbringing. So you can understand based on what you went through, is gonna make you have a certain type of attachment style. And this is this was it in that situation here. So did you guys know? So did you guys know today is International Day for the Abolition of Slavery? Today, it's a big day. I was not a slave, but maybe somewhere in my lineage they were. I don't know. But today is international. It's more in depth than that. No, I wasn't aware. Yeah, today is International Day for Abolition of Slavery. Today. So I think is it fair to say, guys, all of us who are here right now, all of us who are here right now means that we are the strong ones to actually survive, not that our lineage are strong. Share the life, share the life, share the vibe. True. Would you guys say that? Okay, let me make my how you call her, my assistant read.
On this day in 1949, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted the Convention for the Suppression of the Traffic in Persons and the Exploitation of the Prostitution of Others. This day is dedicated to ending modern forms of slavery, such as sexual exploitation, human trafficking, the most heinous kinds of child labor, forced marriage, and the forced recruitment of children for use in armed conflict. It is about raising awareness and reinforcing global efforts in combating the scourge of modern slavery. Governments, organizations, and individuals are entreated to take this day specifically as an opportunity to denounce the atrocities of slavery in its modern form that still exist in the world. Fun fact: the aim of International Day for the Abolition of Slavery is different from that of International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition, the latter of which is a day to reflect on the atrocities committed during the transatlantic slave trade era.
Yeah, this is something quite different because this focus more on trafficking of person or exploitation, because we just were talking about the girl, the child of rage, the girl who was basically wanted to unalive her parents and unalive her little brother at the age of 6 years old because of what she went through, the abuse that her father and her adopted parents made her went through. Hey, what's up, bro? You see, this is the bro. You get it? Bro just said, "What's up, bro? How you doing, bro?" It's so it's a relatively useful day today. It's different from the situation. So I brought this up. You see what I mean? It's different. I know it's a bro to bro. It's focused on. So what is the history? Okay, bro, you're losing me right there, bro. You writing and you're writing. Okay, let me see what you said, bro. You write in Russian. Wait, I don't see it. Sheesh, let me read. I don't understand what you just said. Abskubka. Abskubka. What does that mean? Excuse me. Let me see what you said, bro. See translate. Okay. As Kuka. Let me see what you said. Translate. Oh, bro, why you cursing? You don't understand, but yet, bro, you don't understand what I'm saying. As Cuba. What does that mean? Alphabet? Hmm. Bro, you don't understand what I'm saying? I don't understand what you're saying too, bro. So, okay, it's yeah, alphabet. Exactly, alphabet. How are you? I'm doing good, bro. You see, you speak English. Yes, just stick like that, bro. Don't send me. You guys be thinking that I speak Russian. I don't know. Like, why you guys be thinking that I speak Russian? Like earlier in my my stream earlier, it was just only Russian comments. I was like, not. I mean, it was not just, but it was a lot of different Russian comments. Do you guys, bro? Do you feel that I speak Russian, or should I be speaking Russian, or Russian just think that everybody speaks Russian? Just like some Americans think that everybody speaks English and the whole world speaks English. Yeah, I don't speak Russian, bro. So yeah, just so you know, you look, yeah, you look type Russian. Yeah, I know. I look a bit Russian to be honest. Yeah, vodka. Yeah. Okay, what do you guys thought about forced marriage? Um, someone to be forced to be married. Like, I guess most people would say no, it shouldn't happen. But what do you guys thought about it? Or there are no thoughts about it? Forced marriage. Yeah, I'm Russian. You need to give me what would be my Russian name? What would be my Russian name, Raul? Yeah, give me a Russian name. Dimitri. No? I don't know. Alexander. Alexander. But Alexander is like a okay, well I'll go for Alexander. Yeah. Sasha? No, not Sasha. Sasha feels like I prefer Alexander. Um, I prefer Alexander. Sasha feels kind of like girly to me, like unisex. Alexander is like, yeah, no, yeah. Call me Alexander. That's my Russian name, Alexander.
The International Labor Organization puts the number of victims of modern
Ivan.
slavery at 40 million worldwide. And although modern slavery is not defined by any binding law, the word encompasses practices such as forced labor.
Okay, so yeah, Alexander is better. Ivan, I prefer Alexander. You cannot mistake me. You cannot mistake an Alexander. All right, guys. Okay. There's this. The reason why I brought. I mean, International Day of Abolition of Slavery is today, but also there's this story. Today is just doom and gloom, y'all. I don't know what's happening, but I was just seeing some doom and gloom situation, and this is a story about a father and son who basically drowned their teenage well his teenage daughter over her lifestyle or Western lifestyle. Do you guys know that there are some parents when we talk about um, a Muslim father, basically they want to live in this culture of the West, but they also don't want their family or their daughters or their son to live. Well, mostly their daughters, to be honest. Well, to live according to the Western ideal or Western ways of living. So it got so bad, it happened here in the Netherlands that this Muslim father and his two sons allegedly tied up and drowned their 18-year-old his 18-year-old daughter in a swamp because they believe Western behavior shame their family. Because of shame, he basically unalived his daughter, and also they got her two brothers were also involved in this situation, and they found her body wrapped up 6 days after she basically disappeared. And now her brother was basically Ahmed. Ahmed is a brother. Well, you can imagine Ahmed's 23 years old, and the other one was 25 years old, and her father was 53 years old, and they were basically just planned to do such terrible things to their own blood, to their own family, because they were from Syria, and they just wanted to. These people, they are so. I don't know what she did, but I mean, to unalive her though, that's just too much. But this is what happened, and yeah, this situation is I think it's relevant for today, which is the International Day of Abolition of Slavery, because they believe that his daughter shouldn't have her own way of life, and she should be basically living according to what they want. But it's a really scary world out there.